Hey everybody, welcome on in to Sports Live in the 215. Today we'll discuss Super Bowl 59, which saw the Eagles beat the Chiefs by a score of 40-22. My guest today is someone you guys have seen at the very beginning of this podcast, my brother Tommy. Tommy, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, how you doing, man? As you guys can hear, I obviously don't have a voice. We were down in New Orleans at the game. It was an awesome experience. One of the best experiences of my life. Seeing the Eagles win a Super Bowl. Um, but yeah, now I'm excited to talk about it. It's been a fun couple days. Just trying to bring everything in, and it's just been awesome.
Yeah, yeah, it has. The one thing that stood out to me was the Eagles' defense. They absolutely dominated.
Yeah, I mean, from the jump, you know how awesome the D line was all year, and the interesting thing I've been seeing is that they didn't blitz at all. They got to the quarterback a lot, zero blitzes. They were just rushing for. In their own way, they had the stunts and go and twist and things like that, but still, that front four is elite and great coverage as well from the back. The guys that each played awesome.
Yeah, yeah, they did, and it's interesting that in their two Super Bowl victories, I think they had a combined total of something like one or two blitzes total. So it's like
Yeah, it's
it's
crazy.
really interesting against two great quarterbacks. You would think they would bring a lot more pressure, but
Yeah, they beaten two of the all-time greats, probably the two greatest quarterbacks ever.
it,
So it's awesome.
yeah. Um, where um where do you want to go next, Jalen or?
Well, I just think one thing we were there with my dad and his best friend Frank, and one thing that Frank kept saying that really kind of hit home to me today, seeing all the players react, was the first one was really for us, the fans. The first one we never had one before. We really wanted one, and we're like the franchise really needed a Super Bowl, and this one, everyone kind of just really wanted it for the players, and it's great to see. There's so many stories like wherever you see every position on our team, it just clearly meant a lot to them, and it was just like seeing all the videos, seeing them with their family. I teared up, almost crying looking at Sirianni's son coming up to him, doing the Eagles chant. You think about all the adversity guys went through, like just go down the list. Jalen Hurts, like everything in college, everyone knows his story. It's just like the king of adversity, right? And he's the starting quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles. He gets more adversity than pretty much anywhere, any other position group,
Yeah,
anywhere else in the country. So it's just
and speaking of Jalen, I don't mean to cut you off, but if you told Eagles fans 5 years ago, or close to 5 years ago when Jalen was drafted, they would that he'd go to two NFC championships, two Super Bowls, win one, they win one Super Bowl, they think you're crazy because at the time he was drafted, we just paid Carson Wentz.
yeah, and I know. That was one of the biggest things I probably would say it's my one of my worst takes because I definitely like Carson Wentz. I was probably a Carson Wentz guy coming off a great year, and I think even in 19 he played well. I'm not going to talk about him much, but I was surprised with the pick at the time, even that early. But they clearly saw something in him, and understandably why. You talk to him and you just hear the way he talks and how he carries himself. He really means it. Football is his life. Um, so seeing him win this is just amazing. Just Saquon Barkley. Who would have thought he would be here towards the middle of last year? You know what I mean? Before he was ever part of the Eagles or anything. Um, Devontae Smith winning in his hometown. AJ Brown, all the stuff he talked about, with all the mental health issues and everything he's had.
Yeah.
And, he never knew where his career would go. All the young guys on the defense, Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter, where, you know what I mean? Like Zach Bond, where he was last year. It's just great stories all around. Darius Slay finally has the Super Bowl ring. He's a legend forever. He probably will go down right now as the greatest cornerback in Eagles history, which is amazing to say.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just great stories all around, and I couldn't really be happy. Vic Fangio won his first Super Bowl. You know what I mean? It's just like it's amazing everywhere.
Yeah, and the thing that sticks out to me about this defense is you have a 66-year-old guy in Vic Fangio leading what I believe is either the first or second youngest defense in the league.
Yeah.
So it's just
so young. It's crazy.
It's just a case of kind of opposites attract.
Yeah, and now the Dolphins players kind of look like idiots last year. You know what I mean? Apparently he was a locker room problem and stuff, and he couldn't connect with the young players. But you see how it was.
Yeah.
And it's him because everyone says the scheme isn't that complicated, right? But those guys are just ready to play. They're hungry. They have a culture. They stick to their jobs. They know what their jobs are, and they're athletic. They let them go play. That's what the best defenses are.
Yeah.
And the big thing, like, dude, nobody can hate on Nick Sirianni this whole offseason. People are going to say, like, Howie Roseman, this was a lot more him than anybody. I don't think you should really compare who's more, responsible for it. I think, it's a team effort. They're a team to the max.
Yeah.
Nobody's bigger than the other, and that starts with their quarterback, how much you just talked about their defense. But Nick Sirianni, you can't talk any crap on him for a long time because he is the one who set up this team. He's not a schematic guy. He never was. It's good that he brought in good coordinators. He is a motivational coach, and these guys came out ready to effing play for the past 10 weeks.
Yeah.
And even in the playoffs, they're just going up a notch. And that's really, they were hungry. Every one of them was foaming at the mouth, ready to hit somebody, ready to put them on their ass. And they just wanted the ring. They were so hungry. And that's led by Nick Sirianni. He's a motivational coach. He did a fantastic job.
Yeah. And one more thing about maybe Vic Fangio's time in Miami. I think maybe the defensive players were maybe a little too focused on partying. Maybe
it's hard when you're in Miami.
Yeah, for sure. But and also like I just think something like Nick Sirianni kind of reminds me a little bit of Ted Lasso, at the risk of sounding like too satirical. Like he's not the X's and O's guy, but he hires the right people to kind of do those sort of things.
Yeah, and that was the thing going into this offseason. Like, everyone thought you needed to find. Like, a lot of people wanted him going this offseason. And they brought him back, and I think it was smart too. And they just had to surround him with good, knowledgeable coaches that knew what they were doing, and that he could support and he could get an understanding from. And it's a great situation. It's tough with Kellen Moore leaving, but I understand. I respect him, and I think he'll always be loved in Philly. He's always wanted to be a head coach. Probably it's going to be tough, but I think that's some of the challenges are amazing. You know what I mean? So
good problems to have.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, for sure. I wanted to get your early thoughts on this. A leading candidate, or at least as of a couple days ago, was Eagles passing game coordinator Kevin Patullo, who's been Nick Sirianni's right-hand man since he came here to Philadelphia. And Jalen has nothing but tremendous things to say about him. What do you think about the potential hiring of Patullo? Excuse me.
So I don't know if you heard the after game post conference when Nick Sirianni talked about this, but he had nothing but great things to say about him. He said that he's been as involved as anybody else in the offense this year, and as Nick Sirianni, he basically consults him on everything. He said, as far as scheduling, as far as plays, as far as depth chart, where guys are going at, what plays are running at what time. And he said him and Kellen basically spend all their time together. So that's basically the biggest stamp of approval that you can have. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of it should come down to the coach. You know what I mean? The coach is the one that is working with that guy every day. If you really trust him. But he's not the one paying them. I think they definitely should at least talk to other people, and they got to see. I think it would be great to, if you could stay on as pass game coordinator and bring in an experienced offensive coordinator. I mean, the Eagles offensive coordinator job has to be one of the most heralded open jobs in football right now. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Who would not want that job right now?
Oh my God.
So, I mean, I don't know. I think possibilities are great, and we'll see. I'm not too worried about next year right now. I'm still soaking in right now.
For sure. one guy I'm tremendously happy for is Brandon Graham after the torn tricep I believe it was.
Yeah.
In week like 12 or 13 against the Rams.
Crazy, he's already back.
Wow. And if he retires, I would not blame him one bit.
Yeah, no, me neither. I understand completely because he's going to go down as one of the greatest Eagles. He's probably top 5, top 10 Eagle of all time at this point. He's won 2 rings, and he played well. He played really well. He was all over the place. He was forcing. He didn't get any sacks, but he had some pressure. He was forcing Mahomes to run all over the place. He's a great all-time player, and I'm so happy for him. Like I said, and he had a great answer to this too when he was asked if he's going to retire or not. He was going to talk about his family. This would be a great way to go out. You know what I mean? I don't fully understand going out as a Super Bowl champ. He probably does still have gas in the tank, and he's like a mentor to the young guys. But at this point, why? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So
and if he wants it, same with Kelsey and same with Fletch. Like, I'm sure those guys have potential spots in the organization if they want them.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you think you want to go next? Do you want to talk about our time in New Orleans, or?
Well, I still think I want to talk about the game a little bit more. I think because they pretty much just dominated the whole time. From being in there, I think the stadium in New Orleans was probably 80-20 Eagles fans all together, and you could even just tell that from the beginning, walking through, and then Bradley Cooper walking them out, and the big Eagles chant. It was awesome. It was a great experience, but just game wise, the defense the whole time, they just started off the game. I don't think the Chiefs passed the 50-yard line until 3 minutes left in the third quarter.
I think that might be right.
That's insane. I don't know how. I mean, in the Super Bowl against a dynasty.
And do you think maybe the fact that the crowd was so heavily Eagles was because Kansas City had already won the past 2 Super Bowls?
Yeah, probably. But I mean, Eagles fans also travel really well, and this is it for a lot of people. We travel with fans of Philly, which was awesome. It was a great experience. And we would recommend it, but none of this stuff would have been cheap. And we talked to a lot of Eagles fans that we were on, even on the trip with, and just that we met out there. And you hear about the Super Bowl, and you hear, oh, it's all celebrities and it's all these people, and it was not. It was just a bunch of regular Philly fans that riled together a bunch of cash, like whatever you could, like try to sell your investments or whatever, like we did.
Yeah.
And get some help from people, and you make it work, and that's how it was with a lot of people. It was just a lot of real Eagles fans.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. Sorry, but
no, you're good.
My voice
you're good.
Is trying to come back slowly.
Take some water.
Yeah, you go ahead. Speak, God.
Yeah, like one thing I want to say about fans of Philly, they are class personified. One of the best organizations. I don't even know if you can call them an organization, but organizations that I've been involved with. Like, they're just A1, top of the line.
Yeah, Joe did a great job in the whole thing.
Yeah, shout out to Joe from Fans of Philly. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Salute.
But getting back to the game, I mean, everyone was involved. Like Saquon Barkley, he didn't get much done, but that's because of how important he was, and they were just keyed on him. That's the only thing the Chiefs did well in the game was try to shut him down, and that just opened up everybody else. Literally every other weapon in our offense had a big game.
Yeah, and he was probably the best signing Howie Roseman's ever made.
Maybe, yeah.
The knock on Howie Roseman is he doesn't pay for running backs, but my counter argument to that is he would pay for running backs if they were special.
Well, now the running backs, exactly. But now the running back market is going to go up a lot because of what Saquon Barkley did this year. You know what I mean? It's going to change it for everybody, which is awesome.
Yeah, and Derrick Henry as well.
Yeah.
In Baltimore.
I think more Saquon.
Yeah, for sure. But I was just.
That's why. Yeah, I know. But then we won a Super Bowl off of it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it's not. I don't think that's the same at all.
Yeah, and I was just bringing it up.
Everyone else, I mean, Devontae, his hometown had a big game. AJ was awesome. He would have had 30 more yards off of that. I thought it was going to be a problem off of that first drive with the offensive pass interference. Never should have been called. But I said it was too big to break. At that point, they crushed them in all facets of the game. Shout out to everybody. Jake Elliott, I didn't even mention Jake Elliott at this point. He had the most points by kicker in Super Bowl history.
Yeah,
and that's insane. So after a tough year, good for him.
It's such a cool story. Like, and you even said coming into this game, Jake Elliott's gonna have a big, either a big game or a big moment.
My prediction. I thought it was gonna be much closer. I thought we were the much better team, but I just thought Kansas City in big games and Andy Reid and Spagnuolo, they were going to figure something out to make it a really close game. But I originally said that Jake Elliott was going to kick a game-winning field goal. So I will say I believed in him, but I mean he's awesome and he has a great story too. I heard today I forget what show I was watching, but he was a tennis player in high school. And as a freshman, he just got called out for a pep rally or something, kicked a long field goal, got asked to play. He was like, no, I play tennis. Got asked to play again as a junior, came out, drilled a 52-yarder in his first game. And then now he's a 2-time Super Bowl champion.
Oh, my God.
So just this whole team has just so many great stories from the players and the organization and how he's going to be in the Hall of Fame now. Probably a first ballot whenever he retires because he's probably going to go down as one of the greatest GMs ever. I heard someone compare us to the Dodgers now. People are going to start comparing. If we ended up getting Myles Garrett or something like that, how he makes another big move this offseason, people are going to be like, oh, they're the Dodgers. But there's a big difference is that there's no way to really cheat it. You're not getting more money. There's a salary cap. You know what I mean? Howie is just he's
a wizard.
He just cared. All of them just worked so hard. They dealt with a lot of bullshit at some point in their career. Look down the line, everyone on the team has dealt with some BS in their career, some huge scrutiny either from the Philadelphia media or outside, and they've all overcome it. And they all had great moments, and it's just great. It's so happy for the players, happy for the organization. It's just. We've been a part of it our whole lives, and it's just a top-notch organization. It's been great.
It really is. I know the Bengals are probably happy with Evan McPherson, but do you think they're probably kicking themselves that they didn't give Elliott more of a chance?
Yeah, for sure. At this point,
yeah. If that Caleb Sturgis injury doesn't happen, where does Jake Elliott's career go?
Crazy.
Wow. Where do you want to go next? We can talk about whatever.
Yeah, we can talk about our time in New Orleans now if you want.
Let's do it.
So it was great. That was my first time in New Orleans. We went down with fans of Philly who didn't really know what to expect, heard good reviews, but honestly, everything was top notch. The flight was perfect. All Eagles fans, fun time down. People drinking beers, singing, whatever. Hotel right in the city, right near Bourbon Street. I think we were right across the street from where the Chiefs were staying. So in a league spot, I was talking to Joe. He said he booked it 2 years ahead of time. So he has insane knowledge too. It's just it was great. Everyone's working hard. Everyone's thinking ahead. Everyone's
Yeah, he was probably booking that just in case.
Yeah, and thank God it worked out great. So many Eagles fans, like I said, I thought it was 80-20 down there. It was awesome. Bourbon Street was amazing. It had a different type of vibe down there. Great food. It was really just great. And Sunday, the tailgate, fans of Philly was awesome.
Yeah, oh my God, the tailgate. I can't believe I'm about to say these next few sentences. We met Bo Allen. We met Brent Selleck. And I wore his Super Bowl ring.
You did get to wear Brent Selleck's Super Bowl ring. It was actually insane.
Yeah.
Your favorite player of all time.
Yeah. And for those that don't know, he's actually tied with Ryan Howard for my favorite Philadelphia athlete.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was insane. Super nice guys, super cool, chatted it up. Just funny as hell. Cracked a few jokes. I'm not gonna share it on live, but just awesome guys. Hopefully try to get them on at some point. Also, met Elliot. Well, we met Elliot before. So Elliot Shore Parks out there is a great guy. Remembered us. He was awesome. I'm trying to think who else we met.
Met Tony, the representative from the Eagles, I believe.
Yeah.
And
we met Jamie, Philly Sport. He was awesome. He's a great guy also. So we just met some awesome people out there. We met Gilly, our first night out there. Right? We walked out of the hotel, met Gilly. Awesome times playing blow the whistle all weekend. My dad's friend wasn't too familiar with him, so just pulling up all the funny videos of him the past couple months and the past couple years of me and Connor following him, always watching his post game videos.
Our dad's friend Frank, who I at least we both call Uncle Frank affectionately, has no social media, so to introduce him to Gilly was really, really cool.
What else?
What else? The night after the game was wild.
Yeah, there were. I'm surprised there was a lot of Chiefs fans out still. I guess they were just, probably guys that went to a couple Super Bowls maybe and wanted to just enjoy New Orleans. I don't know. I don't know what I would have done if the Eagles lost. I'd probably still try to go out, try to still enjoy it. Spend a lot of money going out there, but still it was. Oh yeah, I couldn't even imagine that. The whole time I was very confident in the Eagles, but it was insane. There were so many Eagles fans out. Everyone just Eagles chants everywhere you go. People just having so much fun. It was awesome. It was great to experience.
Yeah, going out after the win, we were happy drunk people. But if we went out after the loss, we would have been just sad drunk people. So I'm certainly glad with the former outcome for sure. Do you have anything else?
Just overall, it was awesome. Yesterday, the flight back was a little rough. A long weekend in New Orleans. But everything was great down to travel coordination, fans of Philly. Going to our first Super Bowl, seeing the Eagles win a Super Bowl. It was just awesome. The whole experience in New Orleans and meeting some great people. It was just an awesome experience. So I'm pumped to go to the parade on Friday. That's going to be nuts too. I can't wait to hear some of the speeches. Who do you think's going to have the best speech? Maybe not Kelsey but any dark horses for awesome speech.
I got BG or Slay.
Slay's speech is definitely going to be something. That'll be funny. That's awesome.
Yeah. Anything else before we wrap this up? All right. I wanted to thank you guys for all the engagement Super Bowl weekend. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you guys watching, commenting, subscribing. It means a lot. Thank you guys for watching this video. And as always, go Birds.